Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Poland was attacked by about 20 Russian drones. The Polish military, the Polish mighty air force, downed a lot of them. The Russians attacked Poland. Poland is a NATO member state. The Ukrainians are urging NATO to intervene and destroy the Russians because of this act of aggression. Poland responds. Poland calls NATO, Article 4, not 5 yet. Hey, let's meet. We've been attacked. Poland tells its citizens, don't panic, don't panic. Everybody stay home. Haven't I told you that we're going to get to the interests in the West will push the next imbeciles against the Russians? Well, Emily, see, it was the drones, the Russian drones. Were they Russian? Yeah, that's what the Poles say. Well, they have some Polish SIM cards inside of them. Well, let me go over all this. I have about 25 articles. I'm going to mainly read the headlines. Okay, let's start with the first one. Right there. Right there. This is from Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. Drone falls on house in Poland, near border with Belarus. So this is the first piece of information right here. Polish authorities have reported that a drone has fallen on a residential building in a village near the border with Belarus. All right, let's go here. BBC News, where you can trust these guys. Poland says it shut down Russian drones, plural, after airspace violation. The same date, okay? At least 3 Russian drones were shot down by NATO and Polish aircraft in Poland's airspace during overnight attacks on Ukraine, the Polish Prime Minister has said. And this is the guy who's supposed to announce everything, Donald Tusk. Donald Tusk told MPs that Poland had recorded 19 drone incursions, with some flying deep enough to temporarily close 4 airports, including Warsaw's main hub, Chopin. Okay, ready? Right here, a provocation. The Russians provoked it. All right, so what do you think will happen? And we have the foreign minister. I was waiting for him. Right there. Russia declined to comment, while Ukraine's foreign minister said the incident showed Putin continues to escalate, expands the war. Now, you know there are some interests who want the Europeans to get into the Third World War, if possible only in Europe. Maybe in the meantime subdue the Chinese and the North Koreans, Iran, Venezuela, and all our bad dudes and enemies. I was supposed to say something else. So they want a little war right here, so they can come with their money to invest and reconstruct. There's some interest. When these guys supposedly try to work it out, we have this kind of provocation from the Russians. Why would the Russians do that? The quick answer provided by the West is because that's the way the Russians are. That is imperialistic. They have imperialistic tendencies, and they just want to subdue other people. And they want to, because they failed, they lost Soviet Union, they want to reconstruct it, incorporating maybe Europe and United States of America, maybe Canada. Like they need them in. All right, so some people push for a NATO war against Russia. Have been pushing. I know. Why did the Russians violate Polish airspace? That's the whole thing. Why did they violate it, right? Did they? Right, we're gonna find out. Let's move on. Next one. This is Ukraińska Prawda. Polish armed forces report act of aggression by Russia and downed drones. Act of aggression, okay? Act of aggression. Next one. Drone falls on house in Poland near border with Belarus. Again. And next one. 7 Russian drones and wreckage from unknown missile reportedly found in Poland. The same date. So wreckage from unknown missile. Also an unknown missile. Could be Russian, could be Ukrainian, could be Polish or American. We don't know yet. 7 drones and wreckage from a missile have been found in Poland following a Russian attack on Ukraine on night of 9 to 10 September. I will cover that in the next video. It's a lot to talk here. Right? The drones were located as follows: 5 in the Lublin region, 1 in the Lodz region, and 1 in the Warmian-Masurian region. That sounds very Polish. All right, let's go. Next one. Belarus claims it shot down some drones that veered off course and informed Poland and Lithuania. So what are we talking about here? Well, let me show you some maps here. I think this is a good map, right? The map of Europa. Okay, so here is Ukraine, right? This is Poland, this is Lithuania, this is Latvia, Estonia, this is Belarus. So everything happens somewhere in this area because you have Belarus, so the drones must have come over here and entered here. And then we got here, the border is a border with Ukraine, must have entered here and here from this area. All right, right there. This is Warsaw, very close. Very close. Lubin is right here, they mentioned, so it is this area. And if you want, and if you don't want, I'm going to show you this anyway. This is the map of Ukraine. Here, this is Belarus north. This is Lublin, Warsaw, into the west of Ukraine. So this is where the whole thing supposedly, allegedly, reportedly happened. All right, let's go to the next article. Remember, it's an act of aggression. And if you act an aggression, what do? And they informed Poland and Lithuania. So they played the good guys, right? Next. This is what Zelenskyy tells us. All right. Zelenskyy reveals new details on drones that violated Polish airspace, because a big liar is going to tell us the big lie. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has said up to 20 Russian drones may have crossed into Polish airspace. Well, see, these things are not may or could, or they were or they weren't entering Poland. It's not like may. You know, if this is the border, you got the radars, you see it on the radar, you see the coordinates, you know if that entered or it did not. It's not like may. You know what I mean? If I enter a house, you don't say, Emil may have entered a neighbor's house. No. Did he enter or did he not? It's a clear, these are, you can, it's, how should I put it? Proven. It's not like you know or you don't know. It may. No, it is, or I think they might have been entering, just as a personal opinion on that one. But I can also look at alternative hypothesis, which is maybe it's a provocation by bad actors to involve NATO through Poland into being destroyed by the Russians pretty soon. All right, that's what he said, citing a new report from the commander of Ukraine's air forces. Well, again, you know, or at least 2 Russian drones were entering Polish territory overnight, had passed through Belarusian airspace. So at least 2 came from Belarusian airspace. So that is right here. They enter from Belarus. Remember, the Russians are having some drills here with Belarus. Poland sealed its border. I covered that yesterday. And now the drones enter. This is clearly a war, my friends. This is clearly a war. All right, let's see what else. Next. Belarus claimed it shut down. All right, and we have Polish armed forces report act of aggression by Russia and down drones. They update this kind of things, the Russians. This is not a real picture. This is obviously made, I guess. It's computerized, but nevertheless. Last night, Russian Federation attack on Ukraine led to an unprecedented violation of Polish airspace by drones. This is an act of aggression that poses a real threat to the safety of our citizens. Correct. Good. Did you get them down? Yes. Good. Defense procedures were immediately initiated. We are ready. Basically, that's what it is. Okay, good. If I'm going to talk about the scenarios, like in the case the Russians really did that by accident or with intention, intent to cross into Polish airspace, then the other one I will take, it was just maybe they're the Ukrainians. The third one maybe is just a false flag operation from some bad actors in NATO to drag NATO inside the garbage in Ukraine. And then what could be the conclusion? I'm not done. I'm almost halfway with with articles. Or the other one could be, okay, what can we do next to prevent it? And that's exactly what I've been saying a long time ago, which is they want to de facto institute a no-flight zone over Ukraine. NATO. That is, well, we're not going to wait for the drones to cross into NATO space, not Polish space, NATO airspace. We're going to shoot them over Ukraine. Makes sense, right? You prevent. And a lot of baboons will go along with that, not knowing that that is actually you engaging the Russians directly over the territory of Ukraine. But we can say, well, what would you do, Emil? Well, I'm going to talk about that one too. So let's go to the next one. Early estimates indicate 19 violations of Polish airspace. Oh no, NATO, Tusk. This guy right here, this is the Prime Minister of Poland. This guy, I tell you, he doesn't like the Russians. If for the best example, I want you to go on YouTube. It's hard to find that video nowadays, but you can go over there when Putin was the Prime Minister of Russia at one point. He went to Poland to commemorate or celebrate an anniversary of Second World War, something in Poland. And then Tusk, this guy, ambushes, as they would say here, as Trump ambushed with Vance, poor little Zelenskyy Stein. He gets ambushed in front of everyone in a press conference, but Putin lays in on this guy. He fucks him up. And Tusk stays over there and reads his stuff without even looking at Putin. He's talking about the Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact, and Putin fucks him up. I know I made a video on that one when Putin gets on the Polish guy. And the Polish guy knows that he was caught with a pants down and his dick in a little dingy-lingy in his little fingers, not hand, fingers, okay? So this guy is not a guy who doesn't want to destroy Russia. He is the guy, together with Sikorsky, who's an MI6, and a friend of mine told me that not only MI6, he's also a Mossad guy. He's just a foreign minister, okay, Mr. Sikorsky, together with his wife, Anna Applebaum. Okay, let's go. Not there, here. Let's see what this guy says. So these guys either made it or they're celebrating this aggression. Early estimates indicate 19 drones have violated Polish airspace. Tusk stated that Polish troops counted 19 UAVs that have violated airspace. All right. There have been, I'm quoting, 19 airspace violations detected and tracked, and this is not the final data. For the first time during this war, a significant portion of these drones entered Poland directly from Belarus. All right. He also reported that Warsaw is set to invoke Article 4 of the North Atlantic Treaty, which stipulates that member states shall consult together whenever, in the opinion of any of them, the territorial integrity, political independence, or security of any of these parties is threatened. That means, hey, all of those apply to us. We want to talk to you and see what decision we collectively will make. They already supposedly made one, but we have the infantile Kaja Kallas, the foreign minister, if you want, the top diplomat of the European Union, clearly saying, no, man, this is an aggression. Zelenskyy said, this is a precedent, Europe. What are you going to do? They all want to drag these guys in. Now, maybe, if you're attacked, you should react, correct? All right. That's in the good world. This is real world. So let's go to the next one. Poland confirms drone incursion during Russian attack on Ukraine. Authorities or urge people to stay at home. So that is panic. So that is the panic. Remember when we had the COVID-19? Remember? Remember what they told us? All right, all that. And that is for our protection. The government intervenes and protects us. How? Well, you remember. Stay home, drive your car with her, don't swim, don't go biking, don't do anything. Do only what we tell you, because we are here to protect. So don't panic, everything's under control, but I tell you what to do, right? It's just urge, because they go in steps. Remember my mountain slope model. Slowly but surely at the end. The decision has been made already, just so you know. It's just they're gonna let us, this is when an incident occurs, obviously, it's like a river that flows into the sea. At the end, it's not only one. in big rivers, like let's say the Danube River, you have a delta that is a lot of little arms going at the end and flowing to the sea. So you are entering from the sea, like tranquility, into all these scenarios or alternative hypotheses. And with time, you say, okay, I think it entered this way. And then over there you find another, many arms. And then, but they eventually you go to the main source and you find out what the hell was the decision made. The same here. Now they tell us all this information, and with time, they will narrow it down for us. That's a narrative. All right? It's not that it doesn't happen like this in real life. It does. But in this kind of situations, most of the time, it's a narrative. And they are starting from the main river into all this delta. And they are creating for us to, make logical conclusions. Yes, man. Yes, they attacked us, man. We are under attack. Why are we under attack? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Don't talk about that. No. Were we involved? You went too back into the history. You know what I mean? Too back. All right, next one. Remember, when you want to solve, if you want to solve a situation, you look at all the evidence provided to you and analyze them, incorporate them, and find a solution. But if you don't want, you create narratives, and then you either don't solve it or you solve it according to how you want it to be solved. In this case, these guys want NATO to go directly and fight Russia without Russia having the right to strike back. That's another point you have to keep in mind. NATO would like to fight without being able to be hit by the Russians, but they know that can't happen. So let's go to the next one. Poland invokes NATO's Article 4 and Russian drone incursion. Right there, because the Russians want NATO to come and smack them. Remember, Russia would not win in a conventional war with NATO. I said it. I don't think they can win, all right? Then you get to the next one. How Russia could win. Their win will be their loss in the same time. It will be nuclear weapons. NATO has it. So why would you want to engage NATO? You think NATO will not react? You think these countries, they are ready to do it. There are some warmongers over there who are ready to do what they need to do according to their paymasters. So, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk has stated that the country is turning to its NATO allies for consultations under Article 4 of the North Atlantic Treaty following the incursion. All right, their consultations with allies have now taken the form of an official request to invoke Article 4 of NATO. You got it? All right, good. But there is no doubt that this provocation is incomparably more dangerous for Poland than previous ones. Correct. If true. Next one, New Voice of Ukraine. Poland repels Shahed attack for first time. Warsaw calls it an act of aggression and informs NATO. Next. Poland claims it shot down Russian drones. This is what the Russians are saying about that. So let's see, what lie can you bring, Russians, right? Russia Today, 10th of September. Prime Minister Donald Tusk says he has informed NATO about the alleged airspace violations. Like this, like a retard. Polish officials have claimed that the country's military intercepted several drones that crossed from Ukraine during overnight Russian strikes, describing the incident as an unprecedented violation of national airspace. Moscow has yet to comment on the allegations, and Warsaw has yet to show any evidence. They will show. I will show you. Polish armed forces launched an operation in response to, and I'm quoting, multiple violations of Polish airspace and defensive weapons were used against the objects. And I'm quoting, I informed the NATO Secretary General about the current situation and the actions we have taken against objects that violated our airspace. Oh, they informed NATO? Great. Tusk said. So, according to Warsaw, Polish and Allied radar systems, so they should know, right, tracked dozens of objects during the incidents. This is an unprecedented violation of our airspace. We got that one. Moscow has stepped up cross-border attacks So the Russians don't say anything. All right, the Russians don't say anything right here. They say right here, Moscow did not has yet to comment on the allegations. So nothing from the Russians yet. This is according to New Voice of Ukraine. The same thing. Moscow blames Ukraine for Poland's drone strike in propaganda push. So it's not Moscow, but it's the media. So let's see what they say. Russian propaganda is attempting to shift responsibility for the drones that violated Poland airspace. Russian propaganda outlets are spreading false claims that the incident were allegedly, and I'm quoting, a deliberate provocation by Ukraine and some European elites to draw NATO into confrontation with Russia. So, was it Russian drones or it wasn't? Okay, some sources also circulated a version suggesting that Ukraine supposedly, and I'm quoting, directed Russian drones toward Poland using electronic warfare system. Is it possible? Yeah. Is it a fact? I don't know. These assertions are untrue and are typical tactic of Russian propaganda aimed at justifying its crimes against Ukraine's civilian population. And I'm quoting, such actions by Russia must receive a decisive response. Yeah, nuke them, right? Fucking retards. Only new tough sanctions and increased international pressure can stop the aggression. Okay, next one. Russian marked drones lands in central Poland. So they're Russian marked. So that's it. That's the evidence. All right? That's the evidence. A drone of unknown origin has been found near the Polish village of Mniszko in the Lodz Voivodeship province. Voivodeship. About 300 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. 300 kilometers. So let's go here and let's see where that could be. Right here, we have a map. So this is 50 kilometers is my cursor, about 60. So 1, 2, 3. So about here, I'm guessing about this 300 miles. 300 was miles or kilometers? Where are we? Kilometers. All right. So that was miles. What I did over there. Let's see. That's miles. So that means probably around half in central, as they said. All right. Let's go and see what else. Posting photos of the drone with clear visible markings in Russian on the tail fin. The drone, which had likely run out of fuel, was found intact and an open field. Right there, just set down and just landed. You don't see any marks behind it. It just landed, set down. Like the attack on the Pentagon. You don't see anything behind it. Just something hitting the Pentagon. You remember what I... Okay, so nothing here. When it just landed. So, and you see, I have so much to say. I'm just... It just came and like a helicopter, just set down. I'm not saying that's not a Russian drone or really got that far. But when you land out of fuel, what do? Have you ever had a car that ran out of fuel? Whatever speed you got, then you and stop. All right. So this one was in the air. When that stopped, it started gliding and descending. Descending at the speed. Have you been parachuting or paragliding? Because you like paragliding. Parachuting usually going like this. But if you have the wing, then you keep going. You keep going when you land. If you don't know how to land and close the parachute, right? You're going to fall on your face and roll over. Why? Because you're coming like in a speed. So this drone could not have landed like that. Could have landed like this. Bum, 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 bum. All right? That's a set drone. That's a set. Someone set that drone down. I don't see any marks of damage to the head or anything. You just let set. You don't see anything here behind, right there. You should see that earth turn around like boom, 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 something. No, just set. Now, if it happens somewhere else and they just set it over there, that's a different story. But no, this is not a drone that landed. They don't land like that. If you don't have fuel anymore, you don't just pook. You do ba bum bim. All right. So for me, that's suspicious. Just just to name it. I don't think that's the real, and I'm going to show you the big picture of that, so you can look at any marks of the hard landing, because it's a hard landing, not a control landing, right there. And as a Russian, let's say if I'm a Russian and I still have this drone flying and it doesn't have any more fuel, what do you do with the drone? The question is, do you want the enemy to take possession of the drone? Of course not. So what do? Aim it down, control it down. You can control it. You can control it. No, pack, boom, right? You go down and you make it explode in a field. If it's not a reconnaissance drone. So if it's an attack drone, you destroy it. You self-destruction, not in the air. You don't have that probably. At that point, you just aim it down. Even if you don't have. Remember, if an airplane ran out of fuel, you can command it. You can pilot it. The same with the drone. If you with the joystick, not that joystick, you still can and say, okay, we're gonna destroy it. Boom. Why? So these guys don't parade it like this. So for me, this is already something that I'm not a baboon here. So you know what I mean? Maybe there are some more pictures in the. Oh, here it is, right there. Now you see here, there's nothing. It's like landed there. It's nothing. The imbeciles are very much interested in showing us the inscription here, Bibi Netanyahu. Okay, but without saying what's going on here. Or you can say, well, I mean, maybe the head rather is damaged or something. Maybe, but it didn't. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Russia's drones attack on Poland was no accident. Okay, so that means ill will. How do you know that? Like, how do you determine from Brussels if that was no accident? And she's going to do some very low level mental gymnastics. She's incapable. She's full of rage and infantility or stupidity, however you want to call it. Now, being an infantile is not necessary. Anyway, let's move on. So this is it. Let's see what she says. Because she knows. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas said Russia deliberately attacked Poland with drones, calling it an international strike by the aggressor country. So she knows, man, deliberately. Well, how do you know that? Were you in the room? Kaja Kallas wrote on X that last night in Poland we witnessed the most serious violations of European airspace by Russia since the start of the war, and everything indicates it was deliberate, not accident. Everything. This is how children talk. This is what children talk. They all hate me in the classroom, all of them. Nobody loves me, and I'm good. And they are bad. What did they say? They said everything bad. What did you say? I said everything good. This is how children talk. Or adults who are infantile. This is Kaja Kallas. She knows everything indicates. Every little thing indicates. Okay, what's everything? Can you tell me? It's too complicated for her. Let's go to the next one. Russia equips drones with Polish, Lithuanian SIMs since July. Now we find out that, and they show me the drone that fell right there. So with Lithuanians, what do you mean? So the how imbecilic is like you have a criminal, and the criminal, I don't know, I don't even know what example, but let me read this one. So the Russians put SIMs so can, access the Polish or the Lithuanian airspace, the communication. They install it in their drones in case they want to enter Lithuania and Poland. That shows me they calculate, they plan this, pre-planned it, all right? So it's like you have a criminal and you find in the criminal's bag something that belongs only to someone else, and you say, well, see, he just got that, he stole it from some. Is it maybe you implanted that? Maybe it's your drone? No? And you just reported it, so when you investigate it, they might find it and say, hey, what's going on with this one? I don't know. Let's see. Russia has been preparing drone attacks on Poland since July. There you go. Using Polish and Lithuanian SIMs cards for long-range drones navigation and course correction, Ukraine's military port defense says. Warsaw has been warned about the threat of the Kremlin. So that means, could they have been maneuvered as the Russians claimed? Could they have been, as the Russians claim, hijacked by the Ukrainians and diverted, not the Ukrainians, NATO, diverted towards Poland to create this incident? I don't know. I'm not Kaya Kallas. I don't know for sure. But hey, it's a question. If these guys have SIM cards for communication reasons and, you know, what they say over there, for navigations and course correction, maybe all that was used by others using the SIM cards. No? Okay, right. Just take that into consideration. Remember, first, I don't believe anybody. I don't believe the Russians. I don't believe the Ukrainians. I don't believe the Poles. I don't believe the Europeans. I don't believe the Americans. I don't believe anybody, unless trust is built between us, right? And in this case, there's no trust between me and all these entities I named. Why? They all lied, and I lied in the past. I will lie in the future. Not here, because there's so much shit over there. The truth is so big, so important, that I don't need to lie. I don't need to lie. They need to lie because they have to make up truth. That's the whole point. So I think could have been the Russians. I think it could have been NATO. I think could have been the Ukrainians. Could have been the Poles. All these could have been. I'm just trying to, look into it and find out what the hell happened and which time. What time? Remember, everything they say now, in the future, they will either forget that they said it, and so on. Warsaw has been warned about the threat and the Kremlin's gradual escalation of the drone war. There you go. According to Polish journalist, 4G modems with SIM cards from Polish mobile operators were found among the debris of Russian drones shot down in Ukraine on July 2nd. The SIMs contained details about the flight routes and the exact locations where the drones were intercepted. So they tell you exactly what happened. A SIM card from a Lithuanian mobile operator was also found in one of the Russian drones. The test of connection to mobile networks reportedly indicate preparations for attacks on Poland and Lithuania. That is the whole article. That's meant for you to get, okay? That is, they've been preparing, they're doing it right now, and they will do it. What should we do? Well, arm, maybe hit those guys as they launch missiles and drones towards us. They've been trying this for years. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see what Zelenskyy has to say. Zelenskyy on drones over Poland. Extremely dangerous precedent for Europe. There you go. So you have to react. We got you in the corner. Now what are you gonna do, homie? There's a big liar right there. Ukrainian, because he's Ukrainian, has reacted to the violation of Polish airspace by drones overnight, stating that this is a perilous precedent for Europe. Today, there was another step of escalation. Russian, Iranian, let's put them in there, Shaheds operated in the airspace of Poland in NATO airspace. It was not just one Shahed that could have been called an accident, but at least 8 strike drones aimed towards Poland. According to Zelenskyy, it is an extremely dangerous precedent for Europe, and I'm quoting, whether there will be further steps depends entirely on the coordination and strength of the response. Got it? All right, next. We're going to get to the pinnacle right here. NATO not threatening Russian drone incursion into Poland as, NATO not treating Russian drone incursion into Poland as an attack on alliance. So they are, nice try. We're not going to consider it right now, but I suspect they will come. Yeah, but we have to react somehow. I have to have a haircut today or tomorrow. So my barbershop, I'm coming today. So anyway, I know you're watching. Anyway, so what's going on here? They are saying it's not a war yet, but we have to do something about it. And I guarantee you, and they're going to say it, we have to, Putin, understand Putin, we have to look what you did. We have to protect ourselves preemptively. How do you do it preemptively? By shooting the incoming drones from Russia that come towards us. So that is, let's say I'm in New York City, and if someone shoots a gun, let's say from Berlin, Germany, in the direction, let's say, no, let me show you the map, northwest direction. So let's go. Let's say I'm right here. Let's say I'm in New York City, right here on the coast, right here. And someone shoots a map from Germany that is like, where is it? Jesus Christ, not there. Right there. So someone shoots from Germany something in my direction, right there. I have the right to destroy it right here, maybe over France. I'm going to defend it right here. Right? So this is what these guys are going to say. I guarantee you that's what it is. The Russian drones that probably cross past Kiev, or maybe before Kiev, we're not going to let them travel more. We from here, we're going to destroy them right there. That's, come on, man, just that. Give us that at least. Everybody will say, yes, I think that's right. I think that's right. All right, that's why, no, it's not threatening, but we have to do something. Let's go to the next one. I got 5 more articles. Poland asks NATO to invoke Article 4. Tusk. NATO says Russian drones incursion into Poland not considered an attack. Not an attack, just a violation. We're getting there. Ukrainian Foreign Minister, here you have it. Ukrainian Foreign Minister urges NATO to down missiles and drones over Ukraine after attack on Poland. You're gonna hear this. This is Zbicha. Look at his fish mouth. What the fuck we have here? Jesus Christ. Only now I noticed. What's going on with that mouth? You see, down and up. Down and up. Okay. Look at that guy. So this guy, remember this? This NATO to shoot down missiles and drones over Ukraine. This is the goal at this point. And they will say, look, 20 drones almost entered our territory. All right, and that's and this, that. All right, let's see what happened. Some drones entered Polish airspace. All right, or were found in the Polish airspace. They downed them all. Very good. Were they Russians? They say they were. Right? Could they have been Ukrainian? Yeah. Could they have been NATO? Yeah. With the Russian stamped on them? Yeah. Could they have been all of the above? Were they Russians? Maybe. Were they NATO? Maybe. Ukrainians? Maybe. The goal is not that. The goal is to create, and hey, now the Poles, my friends from Poland, with that they will use the same as the COVID. We will protect you because the COVID from, you know where, we can't even say it, from China came over. Okay, so we're going to protect you, and you're going to have to listen to what I tell you, regardless if it's constitutional or not. My goal is to protect you like a mommy and a daddy. Okay, so your Polish authorities will start, taking care of their patriots, their nationalists, because they will equate that with Russian propaganda and support. All right, so they're going to hit a lot of birds with one incident. Now, is it serious? Yes, it's serious. And then what would I do? Well, first, as Poland, I would say I don't participate in it. Remember when someone said how to stop the war, first thing is not to participate in it? I think it was Chomsky. Not that I like Chomsky very much. I used to, but with time you see things a little bit different. Noam Chomsky. And Howard Zinn as well. So he said the first thing is don't participate in it. Or how do you don't lie or something, or in a crime, don't participate in it. Poland participates in it. Poland is on one side and is at war with Russia. Now, did it declare war on Russia? No, it didn't. That helps. Without Poland, Ukraine will be strangled. They have to use the Romanians in order to bring all their shit, or the Slovakians, or the Hungarians. The Hungarians and Slovakians said, I don't think, nem, as the Hungarians say, nem. I don't know how you say in Slovakian, but probably ne, or something like this, ne, not niet, I don't know. But nevertheless, the Romanians will say da, will not say no, say da. So they have to the Poles are one of the main actors, the kingpin, if you want, of the NATO's support, NATO, whatever interests in the West, support of Ukraine. Without Poland, a lot of things would not have happened. That's why it didn't work in Georgia in 2008 when Saakashvili decided to attack those Russian barracks in South Ossetia. Remember? Yeah, that's when he did it, and NATO did not intervene. Why? They didn't have the ability to support the war over there against Russia in the Caucasus. They didn't. Therefore, that died. Nobody intervened. But here, they got the Poles, they got the imbeciles in Romania, maybe the Hungarians and the Slovakians. Without the Poles, the war is over. the Romanians will not be able to provide everything. They are, but still. So don't participate in it. You can say, well, we have to support good, truth and justice. Do you think that the guys in Ukraine, not the Ukrainians, the guys in Ukraine are the right ones, the good ones? I don't think so. I think what's going on in Ukraine, it's a failed state, it's a mafia state operated and controlled by Western interests. That's what it is. So that's not good. You're not defending a good cause. You're defending a rotten cause. And the goal is world control. China after Russia and so on. So don't give me that. You are on the wrong side. Not that the Russians are on the right one, but you definitely are on the wrong side. Do you deserve that? Well, don't support something that's wrong. Get yourself out. Be neutral. Oh, well, they're going to come after you. They're not going to come after you. You're part of NATO. Ukraine is not. So take that virtue medals that you awarded yourself and toss it into the gutter. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.